Today, we talk about Man, you know I wasn't going to drink that milk. At least not all at once. So we're really here, huh? We made it. Well, let me turn up this brightness here. Maybe that'll help. Whoa! I hope this is working. I can't barely tell. The rough idea here was to sync up multiple cameras just in case. And this is going to be ad hoc AF. So bear with me here. All right. So, boom. Let's sync this shit up. Boom. So welcome. This is super weird. This is episode 0 because it's very scary. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. It's so funny how 1 minute you can be like, yeah, I need to do this because I'm going to be the shit at it. And then the next minute you're like, I don't belong here. And I tossed around so many different ideas of how this was going to go, but this is kind of what I settled on. Not my dream of it, but my imagination of it was to have this as the backdrop, the ultimate backdrop. You can hear all the sirens. I love it. I love that. And yeah, I just figured, I have all these topics I want to discuss, get some encouragement here or there of, getting on radio or doing a podcast or, discussing particular topics that I just don't get to. And I just get so consumed with like editing and perfecting and all that ish. And we've talked about that numerous times before if you've been following along for some time. But, bottom line was I started to write down some topics and I wanted to explore some things, and I figure, we'll kind of do that. Some of the other things that kind of popped in my head of things to potentially discuss. What the fuck is this? For example, I was thinking how much I almost regret not filming when I first started executing on YouTube. I'd been thinking about YouTube for a while, but I hadn't executed on it. And I remember when I was having all these even crazier ideas before I even knew what the hell I was getting myself into, I had this concept of like just putting out all my dreams and goals and day-to-day onto this episode that was going to be super just bad, which I knew that going into it, but something I could reflect on if I became like a big deal, just to see where my growth was from, show people kind of where my dreams were, where my mind was at, what my goals and aspirations were for YouTube and life in general and all that stuff. And I never recorded it, first of all, but second of all, for those that have been following me since my day one motherfuckers, for y'all, you would know that, my hard drive crashed, and I learned the hard way that you need to have a backup. And I lost everything, man. All my family photos, all my, youth projects, and luckily I had some things that I was able to salvage because I had uploaded them elsewhere or they were on a different computer and day. But in general, when I first had my old laptop that I was using, thank God for this upgrade, by the way, because it's a big deal, big difference editing on this and using this for media and creative works, let alone all my other routine works, compared to the old one from 2012. So big difference after 6 years. So why did I bring that up? Oh, I used to have all my photos on there, all my videos on there, especially things that are like little minuscule, not that important type things, little family moments or friend moments or whatever. And I was just looking forward to looking at them in bits and pieces. And I had done that over the years, over time, and it was always, enjoyable to go down nostalgia lane. But When I first started doing the YouTube thing, I was like, all right, I got to clear out a bunch of space. I got to get Final Cut Pro. I got to start putting the video projects on here day to day, just consuming all the space. So I like moved it all to a separate hard drive. And of course that hard drive crashed, and I lost it forever. So that video I was planning on recording back then never ended up happening. So I debated this being that video in a respect, because some time has passed. It's been almost 2 years. It's definitely been 2 years since I started the thought process of wanting to do YouTube. Just a little under 2 years that I've actually been doing it, as far as like making videos for it and uploading and day. But I figured what a better time than now, as I stare out onto this amazing, beautiful view from this dream penthouse that I always dreamed about having, but never, I shouldn't say I never thought the day would come. I just, you never really truly think, at least I never really truly thought about it, and here I am. But at the end of the day, I'm still not happy. And I don't mean that I don't recognize that I'm supremely blessed. I mean, I have my health. I have, I've never been sick. I still have all my essential family members. No major deaths in the family, no major, family drama, at least that I'm aware of. I'm sure there is some in the extended family, but I'm not very close with them. Not that I'm estranged from them. It's just maybe a story for another episode. I just haven't had much go wrong in my life as far as like outside world thoughts of what should go wrong. I can list you off a list of issues and things that I think have stunted my development, my growth, my perspective in life, my my values, my whatever. We all grow up with issues, and that's part of this, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, I obviously recognize my blessings. I'm trying to take advantage of them. I'm trying to, accomplish as much as I can in life, but I guess a better word would be I'm not satisfied. Like today, I guess is a perfect day to start this, because today I was not very happy at all. Genuinely, I just wasn't feeling it. I haven't even left the apartment in a couple days. I've been stuck with, I'm still moving into this place, which really I think is the biggest thing bothering me, because like I'm spending such an insane amount of rent, a stupid amount of rent if you ask most people. In my head, I justified it by saying, this is like an investment property, not an investment property, but like an investment opportunity. Like I'm investing in my desires, happiness, and visions of wanting to be here and being in the best possible position of being here, and I knew when I was here previously that I didn't want to come back unless it came back my way, and this is me doing it. But part of it being my way isn't my way yet, because things have just not come together as I exactly planned. But the older I get, the more I realize like that's going to happen less and less. It was funny, my friend was sitting here just this past weekend right in the seat, and we were talking about this. We were like, yeah, isn't it funny how like when we were younger we didn't understand why people had like money problems or like couldn't manage their money until you grow up and you start to like have a lot of it, and you're like, holy shit, there's like a lot to do here. And like it's just such a headache to like manage money when you have a lot of it, because there's like so much and especially now with me having my own business essentially, and kind of managing everything on my own, and not only that but being alone, and so many things happening all at the same time. It's just been a little crazy. There's another reason I'm calling this episode 0, because, we're working out all these kinks. It's going to be super raw. I don't even know if this fucking audio is going to work, because it's not giving me the signals I'm used to from this camera. I haven't pulled out this wide lens, let alone this 70D Canon DSLR camera in God knows how long, because I just started focusing on this iPhone. And it's been such a lifesaver, because, you guys have, really responded better to my raw content. And I would say this is an extension of that. This is not going to be an exclusive thing on this channel anymore. I mean, it's not like this is setting aside everything else that I've been working on as far as the fashion, the shoes, the medicine, the Q&As, the whatever else comes to mind that I want to toss on here. It's not going to supplant that, but it's definitely just an adjunct thing. I will add as well that this is not going to be uploaded to podcast apps and iTunes and Spotify. Don't bother searching for it there. Not that you were going to anyway right now as of episode 0. But I say all that to say, like, I've also learned from my experience that, like, just getting bogged down in the, not that it's not essential things, like, you need to put in the work and all the back end stuff for the creative stuff and the actual content to,